Hey, what's up, y'all? It's popping. It's D. Boss reacts to this vid by Impressive. This is Jada Pinkett Smith slams Chris Rock's stand-up. He is obsessed. Chris calls Jada and Will a B.I.B.I. All right, we're about to see what's going on. I have not seen this stand-up at all because I don't think Chris is funny. I haven't felt like he's been funny in a very long time, so I'm not watching it. But I did see a headline that stated that he said in the stand-up he wants to see Will's latest movie, to see him get whipped or something, because I guess it's a slave movie. I haven't seen it. I don't want to see that either. I'm not interested in any slave movies. We've seen enough of them. Anyway, yeah, so that's what's going on, and apparently he said Mo. I didn't know he called them the B word, but let's see what's going on here. Let's watch.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Impressive
Will looks
channel.
stressed.
Now, Chris Rock recently did his latest comedy special on Netflix called Selective Outrage, and it has a lot of people talking. Chris finally addressed the infamous Oscar slap that happened last year. Now, if you don't remember, which I'm sure you all do, last year at the Oscars, Will Smith went on stage and slapped the piss out of Chris Rock. The reason why he slapped him is because he made a joke about his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. He joked about her bald head and said that she should play in the next G.I. Jane movie. Now, we all thought the joke was harmless at first, but we later on found out that Jada has a medical condition called alopecia. So the situation actually wasn't funny to Jada. A lot of us didn't realize that he was poking fun at this woman's medical condition. Not only that, this wasn't the first time that Chris poked fun at Jada. Back at the 2016 Oscars, he took shots at Jada because she boycotted the Oscars for not acknowledging enough people of color. And also she was upset that the Oscars did not acknowledge Will Smith's role in the movie Concussion.
Jada boycotting the Oscars is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. I wasn't invited.
And Chris Rock also had
that was funnier than the G.I. Jane joke.
Aggressive and shady
to
Jada.
You're not gonna believe this. Jada Pinkett, you win a bottle of champagne. You know why? Because you just did an interview without mentioning the name Will Smith.
Now, Chris Rock is a comedian, so he likes to joke, and nothing is wrong with that. But oftentimes, there is truth behind some of these jokes. And I think for a while, Chris was kind of letting people know how he really felt about Jada. He doesn't really respect her like that. I mean, if we're going to be honest. So when he made that joke about her at the Oscars last year, it kind of shows that he doesn't really like her like that. So leave her alone. And he went on stage and slapped the mess out of Chris Rock. Another reason why Will Smith slapped the mess out of Chris Rock is because Will Smith was at his breaking point with the jokes. Now, if you don't know, prior to the whole Oscar controversy, Will and Jada's relationship was under a lot of scrutiny. The R&B singer August Alsina dropped a bombshell that he had an affair with Jada, and he got his blessing from Will Smith. So when this news broke out, it was a huge conversation piece, and it prompted Will and Jada to do damage control. Jada and Will...
Did Will ever address that? Did he say that he gave him his blessing? I don't remember.
On her
that shit crazy.
Tabletop. But of course, this whole episode did not help their public image. I mean, people were making fun of them. There were so many different memes joking on Will Smith and Jada. I mean, it was just a mess, and it really kind of ruined the image of Jada and Will's relationship. But even after all of that, Will and Jada still stuck together.
I would have sued the brakes off August.
They could not escape the rumors and the whispers from their peers in Hollywood. I mean, they were a laughing stock in Hollywood. They were a laughing stock on the blogs. They were a laughing stock everywhere. So it was a pretty humiliating thing, and I think Will just reached a breaking point. He was tired of the joking, and when Chris Rock made a joke about his wife, he couldn't hold it in anymore. He just reached his breaking point, and he walked on that stage and slapped the piss.
All right, girl, we got it. The piss is gone.
Chris Rock did address the slap during his stand-up, and he went in on Will and Jada. This is what he said.
Will Smith practices selective outrage. I didn't have any entanglements. I did not have any entanglement. And then for people that don't know, and everybody knows, Will Smith and his wife was fucking her son's friend.
Oh,
okay?
why you gotta say like that?
I normally would not talk about this shit. But for some reason, these put that shit on the internet. I have no idea why two talented people would do something that low down. What the We all been cheated on. Everybody in here has been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television. None of us. It's like, hey, I was sucking somebody else's. How did that make you feel?
Jada interviewed.
She
I thought he was talking
hurt
about
him
August for a
way
second.
more than he hurt me, okay? Everybody in the world called him a bitch. I tried to call him and give him my condolences. He ain't pick up for me. Everybody called that man a bitch. Charlamagne called him a bitch. Breakfast Club called him a bitch.
So now you about to
and
come
the
to this.
View and the Talk and every rapper and the Drink Champs called him a.
You know what's interesting? I could hear the emotion in his voice. Like, I could hear that he was affected by this. So, to all the people who were stating that, oh, this was a setup, this is fake, they set this up, I don't think so. This should remove any doubt for you. You could hear it. Like, he's kind of like stumbling over his words a little bit. Like, you could hear the anger in his voice and the hurt or whatever he experienced, even though that was a whole fucking year ago. He's still affected by it. Well, I don't know when this was filmed. Probably was filmed a while ago. Which, this is a long time to be to be waiting to do this stand up, but he probably was waiting for Netflix to cut that check, cause they probably gave him a lot for this.
Everybody called him a shit. Called his wife a predator. Everybody called him
A predator. August Alsina is not that young. Isn't he like 29 or something?
And who was he in? Me. What the fuck? I do nothing to this motherfucker, okay?
See?
Whatever. Years ago, his wife said I should quit the Oscars. I shouldn't host. She said he should quit because Will didn't get nominated for concussion. So did I do some jokes about it? Who gives a f? That's how it is. She started, I finish it, okay? Nobody's picking on this bitch. She started this.
Yeah, he is triggered.
Nobody was picking on her.
Now he gonna slap you again. He'll slap your ass again.
Me, a f***ing grown-ass man should quit his job because her husband didn't get nominated for concussion. And then this gives me a f***ing concussion, okay? I have rooted for Will Smith my whole life. I root for this mother.
Really?
Okay? And now I watch Emancipation just to see him get whooped.
This what the headline says.
Got me rooting for Massa, okay? Hit him again, Massa! Hit him again!
So that was a segment from Chris Rock's
That's
stand-up
common.
Selective Outrage. And I will say, he had some funny jokes in there. I'm not going to
Only that
act
part was
like
funny.
I
The
didn't
rest was
cackle a little bit. But there were some people who were offended. And I don't
He
blame
just
people
sounded
for being
triggered.
offended at some of his jokes. I think Jada, in particular, was pretty offended as well. And her team sent a statement to people saying this: Jada has had no part in all of this other than being heckled.
Duh.
Chris is obsessed with her, and that's been going on for almost 30 years. Look where he chooses to film his Netflix special, her hometown of Baltimore. Obsessed. Back in 2016, she helped start a movement with the Academy Awards by questioning why there were so few black members, and Chris took it to this. She never asked Chris not to host the Oscars ever. She publicly said in a Facebook post at the time Chris would be a great Oscars host and is perfect for the job. Now, this is
Why he
actually
said that
true.
then?
Jada actually supported Chris Rock
Why he
hosting
lying?
the Oscars.
Hey, Chris, I will not be at the Academy Awards and I won't be watching,
She's so pretty.
but I can't think of a better man to do the job at hand this year, then you're my friend. Good luck.
But we don't know. People be doing little sneaky shit. Maybe behind the scenes she was telling him don't do it, but then when he was like, bitch, I'm doing this anyway, well, fuck out of here. Then she got online and was like, okay, yes, Chris, this is great for you. So maybe that happened. I don't know. Or maybe he just making shit up. Somebody lying.
So Chris lied in his stand-up to pretty much villainize Jada, and Jada never asked him to turn down his Oscar.
You don't know what happened behind the scenes.
Boycotted the Oscars because the Oscars was not acknowledging people of color, and she was like, okay, let's put our resources into building our own platforms instead of trying to get validation from the Oscars all the time. And this movement she started did actually prompt the Oscars to become more diverse. So Jada had some influence in that, but that's besides the point. So back to what was said. Jada's people basically said that Chris Rock has this weird obsession with her, which is why he's always taking shots at her. And I think there is some truth to it. I think when Chris Rock doesn't like somebody or doesn't respect somebody, he always finds a way to take a petty shot at them in his stand-up. And that's kind of how I know, okay, he doesn't really like this person. And I don't think he likes Jada. Also, another person he doesn't like is the late, great Michael Jackson. Now, Chris Rock has a history of taking shots at Michael Jackson, especially over the abuse allegations. Even though Michael was found not guilty of those allegations, Chris Rock still never failed to take shots at him whenever he got the chance. And I honestly think that he just doesn't like him. So, in his recent stand-up,
that was like a popular thing to joke about, though.
Which was expected. And this is what he said.
Bob, you know what I'm talking about. One person does something, they get canceled. Somebody else does the exact same thing. No. You know what I'm talking about. You know, like the kind of people that play Michael Jackson songs, but won't play R. Kelly.
That's a really bad
Same crime. One of them just got better songs.
Now, Michael's nephew, Taj Jackson, responded to this and said, Chris Rock has used my family as punching bags for his entire career. Yet I'm supposed to feel bad for him getting slapped and humiliated on the Oscars after seeing a new clip of him attacking my dead uncle in the first minutes of his Retaliation I'm Still Relevant special. I have 3 things to say. What did my family ever do to you to warrant these decades of harassment and your constant bullying disguised as jokes? 2, just because you were bullied early on in life doesn't give you the excuse to bully others now. And 3, thank you, Will Smith. That was funny. But listen, Chris Rock is a comedian. He's allowed to make jokes, but people are allowed to be upset and offended. It is what it is. If you make jokes about somebody, you can't get mad at the reaction. I mean, this is why Chris Rock got slapped in the first place. He made a joke about the wrong person at the wrong time. But anyway, tell me what you all think.
This is very tricky because on one end, you can't really get upset with Chris Rock for standing up for himself. You know, he was attacked. So if he want to talk shit, then that's what he want to do. You feel me? It's good he didn't press charges. He could have pushed this even further than he did, but he chose not to press charges from my understanding. And he wants to get him a nice little check from Netflix, and he wants to talk about it. So you can't really be upset by that. As far as talking about Michael Jackson, I don't even feel like that's a funny thing to joke about anymore. It used to be years ago, so that's what I was referencing when I said that, because that used to be a popular thing to make jokes about. But now in 2023, it's just it don't even hit. These jokes don't hit. All right. I just think it was random for him to do so. But yeah, this is a lot. He seems super duper triggered in this stand up. Now it makes me kind of want to go watch. I just want to watch that particular part where he talks about them just to see his expressions and see how he's looking, because just listening to him, I could hear the triggeredness in his voice. So it's crazy that he's still affected by that. But I mean, who wouldn't be? You got slapped in front of millions and millions of people. So that is really embarrassing, and then who knows how much it hurt. It probably hurt your face on top of that. So you might be scarred for life. I don't know. Anyway, interesting. Y'all let me know what y'all think, though. Let me know what other videos you want me to watch, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.